Feel kind of like the Cowboys.
Damn, they keep coming.
In the haze of smoke where stories unfold, the Leaf and Ash podcast, tales bravely told. A gathering of spirits, a club so grand, bonded by the leaf, a brotherhood stand. Oh, the cigar month with a nose full of fine, the cigar panda in the smoke they align, the cigar tone with a touch of class, PC silverback strength and contrast.
Hey, you're going to have to back up off my Cowboys, I'll tell you that.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Leaf and Ash podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Panda, along with my three compadres. Let me introduce them. On the bottom left, we got the Cigar Don himself. What's going on, Donnie boy?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
Another day in Happy Land. Another day on the top right, the one finger pecking sensation himself, the wizard behind the curtain, JJ, aka Cigar Mud. What up, dog?
Hey, my Chiefs won by one. Everything's good, baby.
I hear you. And on the bottom right, how can I introduce this big dog? Because he's been getting beat down since before we even started today. On the bottom right, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only PC Silverback. What up, PC?
Standing tall, 10 toes down, baby.
That's right. That's right. Well, before you got on, it was like man down, man down. Yeah.
Hey, I felt something on my jugular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Where's the tourniquet? Where's the tourniquet? We'll get to what we're talking about in a minute, guys. But, guys, this is episode 14. This is a recap of the Panda going to Texas, visiting the Cigar Don, and visiting a bunch of other guys from the other group from the Cigar Dudes. If you guys haven't seen episode 13, I recommend that you guys go check it out. It's the Sip and Smoke, that at the very end is where I kind of reveal that I'm going to Texas to go visit these guys, to surprise these guys. We got a couple of short clips of me getting there, surprising a couple of people, but we'll get to that in a moment. But before we get to the topic on hand, we were talking about the NFL this weekend, and Don decided to just go ham all over PC about his Cowboys.
Just so you know, I am a massive Eagles fan. Okay, so I root for two teams: the Eagles and whoever kicks the Cowboys' rear end. That's the two teams I root for.
Bang. So
this week it was the Saints, and they put a royal butt whooping on the Cowboys this week.
44-19.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Go ahead.
All I can say is just the second game of the season. It's just telling us what we need to work on.
We know you guys are going to the Super Bowl this year. You them boys. We know. We get it.
No, that's not how we play football. We go game by game, week by week.
All right.
Man, I don't know what Cowboy fans you're watching.
Hey, that's just my expectations, baby, week by week.
No, I told you, even my Jets won. You know, I mean, they beat the Titans at it was Tennessee. You know,
Yep.
And your boys on JJKC, they pulled it out on last second.
Yep.
You know,
One
one
by one.
by one. Listen, rather win by one than lose by 30 like some teams. You know, I'm just saying. Listen, I get it, man.
There is a team south of me that, they got ran up on. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you, man. That's right. Just kidding. You said windmill. Start windmill. Just start windmill. So, Big Dog, what you smoking tonight, man?
Man, I tell you, I'm on one of my favorites. I got the Placencia 151, and smooth. I'm loving it.
Okay.
Simply because I missed you guys. So you had to get the bougie sticks.
Get that bougie stick out.
I'm sorry. I forgot.
You digressing.
I digress.
What are you smoking, JJ?
That six, though, baby.
What? Banger. It's your first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Later on, you got to let us know what you think. So, I'm gonna let the bougie of the bougies of this group have to, go out there to the bottom of his humidor and grab one of these bad boys. What you smoking, Don?
Oh, I thought you said you were going with the bougie guy. I thought you were going to go.
No, not tonight. Not tonight.
I am smoking the Arturo Fuente Opus X Destino El Siglo.
And translation is
The Destiny of the Century.
To the century.
To the century.
There you go. So I'm smoking under the Fuente line, and JJ, you picked it right before we got on. Yep, the Don Carlos number 2.
I know you.
You're right. I got to give it to you, man. I didn't want to give you any facial expressions to show that you were right, but you picked it, buddy. I was looking for my other Behiki, but I couldn't find it. Oh yeah, I forgot. So not only is a man coming out with an Opus, right? He's smoking the Toro, right? Yo, why don't you share with the group and the people that be watching this what you're drinking there, buddy? Nope. So there you go. The Dalmore Cigar Malt. Guys, if you guys have not tried that whiskey, I tell you this, it is great. I'm going to use my word. It is phenomenal. It's great pairing with a good stick like the Opus because it has that spice. You're going to get that extra spice on the drink with the stick. Don bought that and 2 bottles of Weller's Special Reserve while I was out there in Texas. So now I'm gonna let you break it down from when you picked me up to the airport. Kind of give them the little trail that we did before we hit the lounge.
So this dude decides to fly in at like 4:30 in the morning. I'm joking, but he gets to Texas at 7:40, something like
7:40.
that. So pick him up, and we decided to go get some breakfast. So we went to this cool little diner over in Pasadena, Texas. So for those of you that are not familiar with Pasadena, it's the and if you're a little bit older like we are, it's the town where they filmed Urban Cowboy. And so we went to this little town, and there's this cool little diner called Papa Yolks, and it's a old style kind of. How would you describe it? Kind of a.
It's one of those mom and pop diners that you'll find, in one of these little towns that is gonna be good, And normally when I go to those little mama, I always try the biscuits and gravy. I didn't, for whatever reason, I just didn't want such a heavy breakfast because I normally don't eat that early in the morning. So I just had your basic eggs and bacon and stuff like that. I didn't have nothing special, but later on that afternoon, or a couple of hours later, where did we go?
We left the diner, and then we went over to the Pasadena Tobacco Company. Shout out to them. We went over there to do a little shopping and see what kind of cigars they had in stock. We both bought a couple of sticks there, I think, probably. And
yep.
And so they open it at 9 or yeah, they open at 9. So we were able to sneak in, first ones in. So got a couple of sticks there.
Great prices. Don't skip that. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You guys in that area, they have a great selection, and for the price point, I mean, if you're looking for good quality cigars like what JJ's smoking, I'm telling you, that is by far
cheapest price I've ever seen.
Yep, the cheapest price for that Sixto. I mean,
Wow.
And it is, yeah, it blew my. I had to buy one. I just on principle.
This wrapper, it's velvet tea.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
So go ahead, Don.
So once we finished up there, we headed over to a little town called League City, Texas, and we went to my home lounge where I frequent. This place is called Maduro's. It's on South Shore Boulevard, and I'll let Panda kind of go in and give you his impression of my shop, and we met the owner and the young lady Mickey that works there, and then we enjoyed a stick there. So I'll leave it to you.
The lounge is beautiful. I mean, I love the private via the member side. It's 24/7 access. I believe you say you could bring up to 3 guests.
I can bring up to 3 guests. Yeah.
And how much do you pay for that annually?
$275 a year.
Guys, I can tell you right now, you won't find a cheaper locker membership. I definitely not here in South Florida unless you go to like where I go to St. Augustine. It was $175 for the year, but that's more touristy. You know what I mean?
Right.
His lounge has okay, and I was very open and honest with Don about this lounge. You know,
Yeah.
I think that lounge has a lot of potential. A lot of potential. Like, you know, when you ever go to a lounge and you go, man, it's not hitting all his like focal points or its true potential. That lounge has that it factor that if you tweak it up, I would make the humidor a little bit bigger. If you're able to knock down that little middle wall partition, whatever they have there, you know, and make the humidor bigger, and the selections are okay. You know what I mean? A lot of Perdomo products there. I believe I saw some Gurkhas. What else?
Padron, a lot of
Padrones,
Padron.
yeah, a lot of Padrones. But the lounge itself is absolutely gorgeous. The lockers are beautiful. You know, the seat. I love the chairs, man. The chairs sit real deep. You know what I mean? But the chairs are low so that, you know, if you're short like myself, you know, I got no long legs. You're not, you're not dangling. You know.
Right.
So I mean, it was absolutely, you know, it really is a beautiful lounge. And we started off that day. I started that with the 1835 drink, and we smoked. I forgot what the heck I was smoking that day. But yeah, but the lounge, like I said, the lounge, you know, I think is not meeting his full potential, but it's a good lounge to call home. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? It really is. I think Don found himself a good spot, especially just to kind of just decompress if you ever need to just get away. You know, It seems to be that type of lounge. You know what I mean? It's not rowdy. It's not, you know, it's very low key. You know, if the Panda ever took over, ooh, blow those doors off, baby. Throw some domino tables in that bad boy. What? People be slamming bones all day.
So they got a poker table over on the public side over there, and they host some you can reserve that poker table if you got some guys that want to come in and play poker and everything. And I wish, as my home lounge, and I would say this to the owner if he was sitting here, that I wish they had a better selection of cigars, because some of the stuff that I smoke they don't have. But he always tells me, every time I say that to him, he always tells me, I'm not in the habit of collecting cigars. I'm in the habit of selling them, and I have in my humidor what sells. And I said, hey, that's good, because as we've gotten into this journey here, we've been talking a lot more boutique cigars and how much value we're getting out of boutique cigars and everything. But I think in order to take on a boutique line, you have to know your customers, and you have to take that little risk with them, that it might not be the banger that you think it is, and.
Well, I mean, to kind of piggyback on what you're saying, I go back to what Dave Garofalo shared with us, right? If you know your customers, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me there's not a boutique cigar that doesn't taste like a Perdomo for probably half the price.
Oh yeah, there's something similar.
And listen, guys, I'm a big Perdomo guy. I love the Perdomo product, but think about it. I guarantee you that guy that's willing to spend $12 on a stick, if he could find a stick for half the price just as good, I guarantee he's going to walk away with more than one stick on multiple occasions.
Absolutely.
I mean, the science to it makes sense, right? It goes back to when we started trying these boutique cigars. We were like, holy crap, where the heck has this been? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's half the price of this. What? Yeah. You don't stop smoking what you like, but you just add it to your resume per se. You know what I mean? So yeah. So then after that, we end up grabbing lunch with the Mrs. Don and the daughter.
Grabbed lunch with my wife and daughter, and had a nice lunch at Carrabba's, Italian food, before we headed north. Man, we headed north, and then we were doing some surprising of some people here, and so we everything was up on the north side of the city. If you're not from Houston, I live in the city of Houston, and where we stay was in the city of Houston, and it was an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a big geographical city. So we decided to get a little Airbnb up on the north side of town, so we weren't driving back and forth. And so we showed up at this Airbnb. I was impressed with it. I walked in, for the price we paid for the Airbnb. I wasn't expecting the Taj Mahal, but it was above my expectations.
I'm there with you. You know what? It's one of those that if we all went, we will all be comfortable in this lounge. This Airbnb. Listen, it served its purpose, right? It's no different than a hotel per se. That you're just looking for a place to sleep, bathe, and eat if you're going to eat in there or not go out. But it served its purpose. Now the backyard was something special.
Yeah.
You open up the backyard and you take a step out and you're in the neighbor's yard. I'm just playing. It wasn't that short, but it was that short.
It was pretty short.
Hey, we call that a California acre.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. But it had a nice table, an umbrella, a couple of chairs. And what was good about that was that the sun was on the opposite side of the house, and it wasn't that bad. Right? It was cool.
We smoked out there mid-afternoon, and it wasn't super hot. And this weekend in Houston, it was in the upper 90s, so it wasn't a nice cool weekend. But I was comfortable out there. We went out there and smoked a stick before we headed out.
Yeah, and then we went to go visit our buddy Memento Cigars, Clint.
Went to go visit Clint, and so we walked in. I walked in first because we were wanting to surprise him. So I set all this up with all these guys, and that I was coming up to meet them, and I was bringing a friend. And I told them the name of a friend and whatever. And so they all expected me to come with a guy they didn't know. And so I walked into the shop where Clint works. And, of course, we chopped it up for a minute. So my job was to get him in the humidor. And so, get him in there. And we're talking about a couple of cigars. And you can tell I'm looking over my shoulder and then we have some footage.
It's not something that I would go back to.
Yeah.
But it's very unique in flavor profile.
What do I do? I gotta get some service around here.
My God!
What do I gotta do to get some service around here?
Dude! Oh my God! Wild!
What's up? Look at you, boy. You look more pimping in person than you do on camera, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Oh, jeez.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah. So we have some footage of Panda walking in, and long story short, he walked in and he said, "What do I got to do to get some service around here?" And Clint's reaction was gold, man. It was, he's such a genuine guy. I don't know if you guys know Memento Cigars or not, but this guy is one of the most genuine guys I know. He and his reaction was gold. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, if you guys don't follow Memento Cigars, I highly recommend that you do. This young man is a plethora of knowledge in the cigar world. I think he's beyond his years. He's young, and I've always said it. He takes this world and he somehow finds a way to make it very sophisticated, even though cigar smoking can be. But this is a young man that's always in a tie or a bow tie or something like that. You'll never see this guy out of character. And you know what? He is a genuine, like Don says, he's a really good man. And we got to meet his wife. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it was like, what? No way! What? No, are you serious? No! Like he kept on stuttering. It was you could tell it was so genuine, man, and it meant the world to me because he's like the one guy that I honestly wanted to meet along with the rest of the guys. But I wanted to make his trip, solo. You know what I mean? And it worked out according to plan. So knock on wood, I'm glad it did. And I'm trying to think of the name of the lounge. I wish I could remember. Do you remember the name
of his lounge?
Yeah,
it's the Casa de Monte Cristo.
The Casa. How the heck did I forget that?
Yeah.
So if you ever get a chance, step out. I promise you, is the skinniest man that probably weighs like 90 pounds, soaking wet, with glasses and $1 million smile.
Yeah.
Okay.
He will put you on the cigar that you need to be smoking. I promise.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. He's not your average tobacconist. He's that guy that he's gonna ask you, what do you like to eat? What did you just finish eating? What do you like to drink? What did you drink? And based on those notes, he'll recommend a great cigar for you to smoke and to pair it with what you just finished eating. Because as you all know, whatever you've eaten prior to smoking the cigar, it's gonna blend in with the cigar itself.
So I got a funny story about that. So every cigar he's ever put me on has been a hit with me. I was like, man, this guy knows, like, every cigar I've tried that he's put me on, I'm like, man, this is right on my palate, except for one. And so he gave me one suggestion. I took it home, I smoked it, and I was like, man, that just didn't hit. That didn't hit, man. So I texted him. I said, Clint, man, now you're 99 out of 100 on this, on your recommendations, but this one didn't hit. And he's like, dude, and that's his favorite word, dude, really? And he said, dude, really? He said, you didn't enjoy that retrohale? And I'm like, and this was very early in my cigar smoking. And I said, oh, no, I don't retrohale. He goes, oh, that's why you didn't like it. And I'm like, so in true Don fashion, I got another one. I smoked it, I retrohaled, and it was right. The flavors in the retrohale were exactly what I'm looking for. So he's back to 100 out of 100 for me, man. Just super guy. I love the guy. So genuine, so nice. Just.
Yeah. So
why don't you go into his lounge and what all transpired there?
So that lounge is completely opposite of Don's, like completely, like the 180, big time. So I go in there, and listen, y'all know I'm from New York. I don't wear my hat like this. I wear my hat like this, right? And I got, I'm walking, and how y'all see how I walk. You know what I mean? I got a little pep in my step, right? And everybody in there looking at me like, who is this clown? Like they're like looking at me up and down. I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I go in, and Clint's lounge is a BYOB. So I'm like, hey, are you allowed to bring liquor inside? He's like, yeah, there's a liquor store next door. That kind of tell you the demographics around it, okay? I'm just putting it out there. So I go next door. I get me a bottle of Four Roses small batch. I come in. I got some solo cups, red cups. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. So I felt right at home. I ain't gonna lie. So I go in. I crack that bottle open. I pour myself a finger or two or maybe three, and I don't ever pour nobody's misery. Like I tell people, here's the bottle. You pour your own misery. All right. So I go, do you mind if I go and kind of like, he's like, no, go ahead. So in Panda true fashion, I go to, hey guys, how you doing? Yo, I'm Pete. Everybody call me Panda. Listen, I got a bottle of Four Roses. Y'all more than welcome to have it. Just come on over. I highly recommend it. It's great. It's a great bourbon. I promise you enjoy it. Then, no, we're good. Okay, that lasted all about like 5 seconds. Right? We go around, I pour. And you see them sneaking around. I'm like, yo, man, you want something? Yeah. So the one guy comes, he pours himself a sip. He's like, oh, man, I appreciate you, man. Well, no doubt. So then another one came, grabbed another one. And then I guess Clint, he remembered me when I did the interview with Clint. And he was like, man, where you from? And I'm from New York. He goes, man, I knew it, man. I knew you were from around here. I go, yeah, I know I'm from around here.
You ain't from these parts.
Yeah, you ain't from around here. I was like, nah, I ain't from around here. So that same cat, after he finished, maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes later, he come back. He goes, hey, man, you mind if I hit another? I'm like, yeah, man, go ahead, pour yourself in. So here's the bottle, here's this cup. He's like, yeah, man, yeah, I remember that. And he's just going on, and all I see is the bottle going like this, just dropping.
Good.
I was like, hey, man, I'm like, knock yourself out, bro. It is what it is, man. But I loved it because they're rowdy, they're loud.
It was Thursday night football.
The Dolphins got their butts completely destroyed by the Bills. All that was missing is domino slamming. That's all it was missing in that lines for me, man. But I absolutely loved it. We had a blast. And then the Panda got a little hungry.
Yeah.
So we went next door to a Mexican restaurant, and I'll let you finish that story, Don.
So we're in a Mexican restaurant, and we're having a good time. We're ordering our food up, and they have a live singer in there. He's singing everything from Latino music to country to I think he did like a Creed song. He did everything. And so at one point, this gentleman gets up and he starts singing with the singer, a patron, and Pandy just looks over the table and he said, "I'm next." I said, "What?"
Oh,
he said,
no.
"I'm next. I'm getting up there." I said, "No, you ain't. No, you ain't." Well, if you guys know Panda, if you tell him no, you ain't, what's the next thing going to happen? Yeah. So this dude gets up and starts singing "Try That in a Small Town." In the middle of this restaurant, it's gold. I texted these three guys. I took a video of it. JJ, I'm sure you'll put that in here too.
Yeah, it's going.
I texted these three. So I said, "This is gold, boys. This is gold."
So here you got a New Yorker in Houston, right, in a Mexican restaurant singing a country music song. Dude, it was hilarious.
It was gold, boys. It was gold.
Oh man, it was
New York City.
Get a rope.
Yeah. It seemed that everywhere I went, I kind of stood out just a little bit,
Just a little bit.
just a little bit, because it's all about what, JJ?
For
Hold
me,
on.
guys, it's all about the experience.
They're all asking, why the hell is he walking so fast? That was clue number one that he's not from there. Walks way too fast.
So we leave the Mexican restaurant and we go out to the car, and the guys that were in the lounge were still in the parking lot. They weren't ready to be done yet. They were still out there having a good time, but we were done for the night, and we headed back to the Airbnb.
That's what blew my mind, though, that lounge closes every day at 9:00.
Friday and Saturday too. I don't get it.
Dude, 9:00. Dude, that's insane.
Party's just getting started at 9.
Oh, dude, I mean, listen, Thursday, okay, fine. People got to work Friday, but Friday and Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
But listen, obviously the owner knows his customers and, stuff like that. My rule of thumb has always been, if I got one customer, I'm there till he or she's finished. I mean? I don't care what the sign says on the door. That's just a recommendation. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
they had
we were treated
12 people there easy.
Oh, at least that, yeah. And we were treated to a very nice cigar. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was the
Rocky Patel Year of the Dragon.
Yes, and it was a very nice cigar. We enjoyed that because Clint starts. I think he starts there. He has a day job too, so he starts there at 6, and then so we got there about 6:40, 7 o'clock. So, yeah. And so we had time for a nice stick, and then the Mexican restaurant, and we called it an evening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll tell you that first night was it was rough for me because I woke up at 4:00 in the morning because my flight left at 6:00 in the morning, and I had to drive an hour to the airport. And I almost, man, I ain't gonna lie, my butt cheeks were clamped, man, because the line was long as heck. And I was just like, oh Lord, please don't let me miss this flight, man. Because the next flight to Houston, to where I landed in Hobby, it was like 2:00 in the afternoon. My time. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I'm one of those people that, I asked Don first because, my whole thing is that if I'm going on vacation somewhere, I like to get to that place early because I want to enjoy that first day. Yep. Even if it's like an early night, at least I know I got there and I could enjoy the day. There's not worse that, you take a whole day and you don't get there, to 6, 7 o'clock at night, and there's really nothing for you to do. You basically spend that whole day, in travels or just, just being stationary. That's not what I want. I kind of wanted to get the experience. You know what I mean? No, back in not yet.
Okay, I'll hit that button.
But and it was great. You know what I mean? So then, what was the next day's plan, Don?
So the next morning, we woke up early, got ready, and so I was picking up a couple of the guys from the Cigar Dudes Check those guys out, Cigar Dudes podcast. And so I was picking up a couple of those guys because I actually live south of the city, and Randy and his crew kind of live way, way north of the city. So they would have had to come all the way through the city and, pick up the guys and then come up and then go back north where we were going. So I told them I'd pick them up. So I went by and picked up those guys at the airport, and we headed up to Cigar International in Conroe, Texas.
I stood in the Airbnb waiting.
So we left Panda because these guys didn't know he was coming. They thought I had a buddy coming from San Antonio, and we had a good time with that and everything. But so they thought my buddy was coming. So I roll up. I pick those guys at the airport, and they're asking me, "Hey, where's your buddy? Where's your buddy?" "Oh, he's driving by himself. He'll be here in a little while." That kind of thing. So we get up to Cigar International, and we all go in, have a stick, and I'm texting with Panda the whole time. All right, we're here. So Panda orders a Uber. I'll let you share the Uber story.
Oh, man, so I'm trying to get everything in order, right? So here I'm wheeling my briefcase, my suitcase, and my other machine, and so my Uber shows up, and she's in a full ninja mask, bro. You know what I mean? And it was one of those masks that you put around your head. It covered. It was a mask, but then it had a cloth that draped all the way down. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be an interesting ride. So I put my luggage on thing down. I'm lifting it up to put it inside the back seat on his back. And she, no. I don't want your wheels to dirty my back seat. Put it in the trunk. I'm like, okay. So as I went it back, I had a gallon of water that fell and exploded. I was heated. I was like, are you serious right now? So I opened up the trunk and I put my suitcase in there. I close the trunk and I go and I sit in the back seat. This entire back seat was infested with cat or dog hair everywhere. And I'm like, are you serious right now? You worried about my wheels on my carry-on, and I go, oh my Lord. I'm just like Pete, just you know what? Just have a moment with yourself and just keep shut. So we're going there, right? And I'm looking, I'm just shaking my head, and on the behind her seat, I see this brown looking thing, and I'm like, what the heck is that? So as I look down, dude, it's a rotten banana peel. I'm like, are you kidding me, lady? I'm like, my Lord, man. I'm like, man. So now I'm like, you know what? I need to call somebody, right? So I'm gonna pick up the phone. I was gonna give the missus a call, and I start looking for my earbuds. I can't find my earbuds. I'm like, man, come on! Don't tell me I left them. And I specifically took them off the bed and held them in my hand, and I couldn't remember what the heck I did with it. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to get to CI and tell them we got to go back. But anyways, I finally get there, and I got my hat on, I got my Panda jersey on, and I don't know what. I guess Randy was the first one to see me or something.
Yeah, so Panda texted me and said, I'm here. I'm coming around the corner. And so I get the camera out and I'm recording. We'll have that footage in here as well of him getting there. And Randy just said, him and I were talking about something, and he looks up all of a sudden. He goes, oh, man, I thought that guy's hat said Panda on it. And then he did a double take. He goes, that guy's hat does say Panda on it. And Panda walks in and says something about, I heard you guys had cigars in Texas or something. I don't know what you said, but and the place, just so you know, we had 15, 20 people in there, and all 50 was like, what?
Yeah. You got more than talking about me. Mine's longer than yours. The hell you say? Oh yeah. When you comb it enough, stretch it out.
Oh my God! I thought that was
That is Panda.
Shut up.
Holy shit. God! No!
You knew he was going.
He came in yesterday.
Damn.
That's my good friend.
That's so cool! Oh, God,
that. We got all that on video too. It was priceless as well.
And you guys understand that we've all known these guys, and we met through TikTok. You know what I mean? And we've spoken, and we've known pretty much at least for a year. At least we've known everyone for at least a year.
Yep.
Or close to it. And it's always through social media. It's never been face to face. And that same here with I got to meet both of these guys on the bottom. It wasn't until our Tampa trip that I got to meet JJ for the first time, but no one never seen and met JJ face to face. We've always seen that beautiful mug through this screen. That's right. So, it was a great time. You know what I mean? And I absolutely enjoyed myself. And definitely, I'll definitely be going back. And there's other lounges out there that I want to go and go to and meet up with other people from Texas and stuff like that. I know there's a couple of lounges in San Antonio. I know there's a couple of lounges in Dallas. and that might be my next trip when I do go to Texas. I'll probably go to San Antonio, which is the furthest east, right?
For west.
Oh, west. Okay, west, and then work my way the other way around.
Yeah.
And and like I said, I plan that's my goal is to go to each of these guys' states and just seriously for the what, JJ?
For me, guys, it's all about the experience.
That's what it's all about for me. I'm dying to go to Atlanta, hook up with PC in his state, and definitely go to the lounge out there because there's a bunch of lounges in Georgia. And I don't know if 4 days is going to be enough, we might have to pick 4 or 5 of them, so that we could enjoy, but yeah, and one day we might just surprise JJ, go to the Okie to the Pokey and go to El Guapo's, man.
Hey, it has to be El Guapo's because if we go to the cigar box in Tulsa, bring the level 4 armor, baby. But Alex at El Guapo's, it's the lounge is made out of an old Victorian home. It's a 2-story home. I mean, it's really beautiful on the inside, and he runs it's a nice little humidor. And
Isabella's.
Yeah, and he's trying to expand. He's been doing a lot of work, and it's good to see that his business is good enough for that because he deserves it.
That's
cool.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, Isabella's is like that in St. Augustine. It's an old historical home.
Mm-hmm.
When she first came down, she was a seamstress. That's why the store when she converted, she was living upstairs. And then she has a big background in tobacco. Her family was while out in the fields back in the day, and she just converted the lounge the seamstress lounge to a cigar lounge, and she's been there since 1980. I want to say 83.
Wow.
So people, and she's a wild one, man. She's an old lady, but let me tell you, boy, you can tell in her younger days, boy. Woo.
Oh yeah.
She's a big Marilyn Monroe fan, so there's a lot of pictures of Marilyn Monroe, so you can kind of get your idea. Because she would one day, because she loves drinking Macallan's 18. The woman don't got cheap taste, and when she get to drinking, boy, the stories come out, and let me tell you, I'm looking at a woman that could be my grandmama. Listen to these stories, make a brother, blush a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to hear it. It's like, no. Like I can't take it out my head. Can't get it out my head. But yeah, dude, it was a great time. And then we got invited over to Randy's home. We did
so before we get there, so we do the CI thing, and then we went to another place called the Clubhouse, and they were doing some remodeling so that the humidor wasn't set up the way it should have been. It was pretty empty, and we all, but they had some decent sticks in there.
Pretty empty, dude. That's an understatement. Dude, I want you guys to get a true visualization of this, all right? The humidor is a decent size. If I had to say this, the humidor had to be 12 or 14 by maybe 15.
All right.
And the ceilings are tall. So it makes the room look even bigger. Dude, at least spread your boxes, you know what I mean? To make it look like, dude, when we walked in, and I looked to my left, and all I saw was just empty shelves from the floor to the ceiling. I'm going, what do we got going on here, man? Dude, nice place. It really, I mean, the service was good. The young lady that was behind the bar was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That shop was recommended to us by one of the guys, and I guess, like you said, they were They were going to do some renovations, so they didn't order anything, and then they changed their minds at the last minute, and
Right.
you know, now they're waiting for new orders. So maybe next time when we go, maybe they'll have a better selection. But it was slim pickings.
It was slim pickings.
I did pick up though that Aganosa leaf.
Oh yeah, that
Was it
was
the
the Supreme Leaf, or was it?
the Supreme leaf? Was it
Yeah.
Supreme? Yeah, that wasn't the best.
Speaking of
So-
picking up, toast or like a bread? Is that a thing? Real
It's a
creamy.
thing. Yep.
Where you
Cedar.
at now? You in you
At the end of in the second.
starting the second? Oh, actually mid second.
It's beautiful. I get it. I get it. I'm not going back. Don, I'm
So-
gonna need 3 or 4 more boxes, buddy. 165.
Hey, pinkies up, baby.
Pinkies up, yeah. Well,
Hey, the higher you hold it, the fancier you are. SpongeBob.
Yes, sir.
I don't even know who you guys are anymore, man.
Hey,
So
Hey,
we
you
leave.
know when you got me buying Davidoffs,
Oh, then I start worrying.
Hey.
yeah, that's
I'm a good influence on you. That's all I know.
hey.
So we leave the clubhouse, and Payne and I are by this time we're starving because we had literally like a breakfast sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts that morning, and then we went to lunch but we didn't because we had just eaten breakfast, so we didn't do a whole lot at lunch, so we were starving by the time we left the clubhouse. So Payne and I went and had some dinner, and then we headed up to one of the cigar dudes, Glenn. He manages a resort, an RV and cabin resort. And this place was, I mean, off the chain. It's got a nice little lake out there. These cabins, they were park model homes, and just phenomenal. Well, we're sitting out there having a stick at the end of the night, me and Panda and one of the cigar dudes, and we're sitting there having a stick. And I looked around, and it was Friday the 13th. I said, "Wait a minute, guys! It's Friday the 13th. We're at a cabin on a lake. What the hell were we thinking?"
Dude, I didn't even realize Friday 13, man. It's funny. I'm gonna send you. So I end up taking video on the last day in the morning because it was such a beautiful view. You know, I was like, you know what, I have to take this view. What I'm gonna do, JJ, I'm gonna send that to you so that we could kind of give it somewhat of an idea. What I didn't do, which I should have done, is either have you or myself video when we were on the golf carts.
Oh yeah.
You
So-
know,
so-
that's-
Glenn hooked us up with a golf cart, and they have these trails all through this resort that you can go back through the trails. We saw some wildlife out there, with rabbits running around, and it was just a nice time. So
approximately how many acres did it sit on?
I believe he's
100.
160.
160, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Damn.
nice place, just really quality place, and so we enjoyed that, and like Penny said, we got invited over to Randy's house for the afternoon, and they were cooking out some burgers and stuff, and man, when I tell you they put out a spread. Like I'm sure they got 2 weeks worth of food left over from when we were there, but they put out a spread. Enjoyed the day in the pool, had a good time with those guys, and
You'll see a lot of singing.
They also came in from all over the country. They a couple guys from Georgia, a couple guys from Ohio, one from San Antonio. So they were having their kind of reunion as well. So Penn and I had a good time there. We were in the pool for how many hours? I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than what I want to remember.
So we enjoyed some Wellers and
Oh yeah.
a couple of sticks, and we had a good time with those guys. It's nice. We talked about it when we were there. That's what this does for us, man. It's not about actually smoking the cigar, which we all enjoy, or we wouldn't do it. But it's about meeting people. It's about about the camaraderie. It's about the everybody has this common interest, whether you're right, whether you're left, whether you're whatever the case might be. It's just a something that brings us all together, and it was just a good time hanging with those guys. And I've met most of them before because they're here in Texas, and so just getting together with them and hanging out and bringing Panda into that mix and having having that camaraderie was pretty awesome to me.
Yeah, I had a blast. I really did enjoy myself a little too much. It's definitely going to be, I'm sure if you guys go to their podcast, I'm sure I'm going to be brought up a few times. But you know what? It is what it is.
Panda might have been weller than the rest of us.
Yeah. The panda, how is it that your wife said it? The panda had too much honey?
Honey and had to hibernate.
I had to hibernate, yeah.
No, but it was a beautiful time. It was just really, really set, this guy's heart, hanging out with everybody. And, I wish JJ and PC, I wish you guys could have made it down. We'd have taken over the town if you guys would have been here.
Hey, but you know how they go.
Texas wouldn't know what to do if this big old 4-headed Okie came in there, baby. No, I love Texas. Like I said.
And of course, I took vacation the week before your trip, so that kind of put me on the back burner. I was trying to figure out how to make it happen, though.
I do love Texas. That's going to be my where I park my big butt when I get a little older.
Texas is nice, man. It's huge, man. That state is so damn big, man.
Oh,
you saw a smidgen of it. I mean, just
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I've been to Dallas and I've been to, I think, was it San? No, what's the other town?
Austin.
No, not Austin.
San Antonio,
Fort Worth, Dallas.
I've been to Fort Worth and Dallas.
Dallas and Fort Worth are right next to each other. They're close.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was all work related, so I really didn't get to really enjoy it. And it was years ago. We're talking about like 2008, 2009.
damn! I graduated high school in 2008.
Yeah.
Wow. The only problem with Dallas is that football team they got going there. I mean, that's.
And we're back. And we're back.
We them boys.
What is it? Too much haterade on PC?
Yeah, that's what them blue blockers on these glasses for. The block the hate, and that's Dallas Cowboys blue.
What I tell you they were there? Those are playoff blockers.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Man, and the punches keep coming, boy.
I'm telling you. Hitting the man while he's down.
No, all in all, it was a great trip. So glad we got to do it. And that's the only thing I hate about trips like our Tampa trip and this one. Right when you start ramping up and having a good time, it's over. I hate that. That's But yeah, dropped Panda back off at the airport on Sunday morning, and we called it a trip.
Yeah, now I'm back to reality.
Yep. I get that.
Yeah, and this week is a busy this week and this coming weekend. As you guys know, I'm on call all weekend, starting Friday at 6 p.m. to Monday 8 a.m.
Like I was telling them guys earlier at work today, they're working us like a two-legged sheepdog. And,
that's crazy, man. But well, you got that bean footage.
You know it.
Roll it, baby.
What's going on, guys? This is your boy Panda, and your boy Panda has some great news. We have teamed up with Burn One Cigar Bar, located at 7328 Royal Palm Boulevard in Margate, Florida. Guys, Burn One Cigar Bar is your go-to destination for the finest selections of premium cigars at unbeatable prices. Step into a world of luxury and relaxation as you indulge in the smooth flavors and exquisite aromas of our carefully curated cigars collection. But that's not all. Burn One Cigar Bar has teamed up with us for an exclusive sponsorship opportunity just for you. When you call Burn One and purchase any box of cigars, you unlock a fantastic discount of 20% of your order using special discount code PANDA. You can contact Burn One at 954-970-0001 or on their social media pages, Facebook and or Instagram. Guys, don't miss this chance to elevate your cigar experience without breaking the bank. Visit Burn One Cigar Bar today, mention discount code PANDA, and treat yourself to premium cigars at incredible value. Hurry up, this offer won't last. Burn One Cigar Bar, where luxury meets affordability, and they ship nationwide. Peace.
Peace.
Okay, so I got to know something. How many takes did it take you to say carefully curated cigar selection?
Say it again.
How many takes did it take you to come out with carefully curated cigar selection?
Oh God.
So when I was writing it, right, I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to find a sophisticated word. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I pulled out the thesaurus. You know,
The what?
the thesaurus. You don't know what a thesaurus is?
Never used one.
JJ, you could. Anyways, son of and so, you know, as you guys know, I wrote that script, and it took me, man, I don't know how many takes, man. I'm not even. I must have deleted. I don't know how many times I said it, and I listened to myself. I stuttered, you know. Even though even when what I did was I downloaded it to that teleprompter. You know what I mean? And I was trying to figure out the right speed. You know what I mean? There was this one point I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Man," I called myself. I'm like, "Dude, I need to slow this damn thing down." Like, I'm just trying to play catch up with the words, man.
We got Twist on the track.
Yeah, no, it was nothing less than 10 takes. I'll tell you that much.
Well, and I'll tell you guys too. You know, we're talking about lounges and my lounge and everything. That's a lounge. If you guys are in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Margate kind of area, you know, it seemed like it was close to Fort Lauderdale when I was there. I'm not a Florida, you know, geographic expert, but it seemed like in that kind of area. And if you guys are in that area, man, it was. I'll tell you, when I walked into that lounge, every single person that's in that lounge stood up and shook my hand. You know, and I know a lot of that is respect to Panda. You know, he's
Right.
like the furniture. He's like the furniture in there. And but the other thing I noticed is when those guys greeted each other, handshake, bro hug, kiss on the cheek. It was really a family type. And don't get me wrong, the smack talking when they did when they were playing dominoes, the smack talking was off the chain. But you can tell it's really just a family atmosphere that those guys really love each other, and it, you know, that's the kind of place you go to that, you know, look, when I don't want to think about anything else, I just want to throw some dominoes on the table and talk smack and enjoy my friends. That's the kind of place you want to go to, you know. You know, and you know, I know you guys have had some tragedies in the last couple of, you know, months there, and you can just tell even by that how affected that you were by all that, and you know, and that just you know sits right there like that. That's the place that we're you know, we're all friends, just like us four here. We're all friends. You know, we met on TikTok. We didn't know each other, you know, a year and a half ago, and we're all family now. You know, we're going to each other's houses. We're going to each other's places. We're just enjoying each other, and that's what this is all about for me. That, you know, I could take or leave. You know, I take that back. I enjoy smoking cigars too, but I also but also it's about this for me. It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I get to find a lounge like mine, you know, and God knows I've searched, you know, and it's you know what it is when you have a home lounge like that, you have a tendency of doing comparisons, you know, in every lounge that you go to, because whenever I go to a lounge, the first thing I look at, you know, ownership is important, but you know what is the patriots there, right? The people that are your everyday customers, how they going to greet you and welcome you into that shop, to me means a lot. You know, and to me, you know, if I ever owned a lounge, you know, I would expect my you know, people that are in my lounge to welcome everyone and anyone into the lounge and make them feel welcome, you know, because you never know who's going to be in that lounge that you might need. You know, perfect example, you know, when I got home, you know, the missus tells me, you know, I start the ride. You want good news or bad news? I'm like, great. I said, I just got back. I'm like, give me the bad news. She's like, the AC's out. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, you serious? We went. I said, let's go get something to eat, and I'll make some phone calls. Now, mind you guys, here it is, a Sunday afternoon or evening, 5 o'clock. I call one of the guys that's in the AC business, and he walked me through. He says, you know what? It's going to be this. Is the capacitor? I go, oh, the flux capacitor. Yeah. He goes, yeah, the flux capacitor. He goes, let me go check and see if I have one in my truck. And sure enough, he had one. That man drove an hour to come to my house to install it and drive
On Sunday
back
afternoon.
on a Sunday afternoon, evening.
Beautiful.
You know, and that's the type of people that are in my lounge. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
cool.
like I said, it's good. And that's the thing about, you know, when you find a lounge, that you meet people from all walks of life, all different businesses, you know, experiences, life experiences, and professions. You meet a lot of people in different professions, and they always, one way or another, come in handy. You know?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
And your
and
lounge,
that's like
it's right down the street from your house, right?
Mine? No. No. It's almost an hour. It's an
so
hour ride.
So you drive an hour to get to a lounge that you feel like family there, you know, and so it's just a testament to your lounge and to those guys, what they've created there.
And dude, I got at least 5-6 lounges about 10 minutes away from me. You know, if I want to go maybe 20 minutes, I have another total 15 lounges, including the locals, and I bypass them all. You know, not to say that any of them are down in this area aren't good. It's just that's just my home lounge. You know, that's where, you know, I take my hat off, kick my feet, you know, and just relax. You know, that's, you know, it's one of those things. Like I said, if I ever open up a lounge, that's exactly what I want to emulate, you know, in my lounge. Well, gentlemen, that's episode 14 for you. You know,
Beautiful.
what, 15?
15, right?
15? What the heck? I thought, man, there you go again. I thought you said the other one. Well, so then I digress what I said earlier. Then go check out episode 14 before you had this one.
Hey. We're getting up there, boys.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Guys, once again, if you like
Yes,
what
sir.
you're seeing, hearing, if you have any suggestions, please, by all means, shoot us a text on TikTok, a message on all our social media pages, which is JJ.
Oh man. Well, I've been posting the lives on Facebook, but it's also iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube, Spotify, and Podbean.
There you go. And you can be found where?
I can be found on Facebook under Jeff Judd, which is my name, and TikTok under the Cigar Mutt or the Leaf and Ash Podcast.
UPC.
I can be found on Facebook at Paul Caldwell, on TikTok at PC Silverback 23, and on Instagram P Caldwell 23.
And Don?
I'm on TikTok as the Cigar Don, on YouTube as the Cigar Don, on Instagram as Flyers Don, because there's a Philadelphia reference there, and then Facebook as my name, Don Sweeney.
And I could be I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, all under Cigar Panda or Cigar Panda _ Panda 75. Well, guys, once again, if you like what you see, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell, hit that all notification bell, so anytime we go live, you can be notified, or if we post something, you guys can share it, like it, share with your brothers, sisters of the Leaf. On that note, guys, catch you on the next one. Peace.